Thanks for tuning into the ReShard show. Today we have a very special guest. I could probably retire after this for y'all. She's a comedic icon, accomplished actress, and entrepreneur. You've seen her in the hit shows like Tyler Perry's Single Moms Club, For Better or For Worse, on the OWN network. Two Broke Girls, Psych, TheSoul Man, The Neighborhood, with our good brother Cedric the Entertainer, Breaking Bad, 50 Cent, BMF, Black Mafia Family, of course, one of my favorite shows. P-Valley, Single Drunk Female, Apple TV, The Big Door Prize, written by Schitt's Creek, EP, David West Reed. Also, of course, you know, you guys have seen on Common View different stand-up specials, like Famous Enough. She has endless, in my opinion, endless like credits, and all of them are amazing things, which means she's doing some major things that she, you know, if you just to get one credit is a good thing. But this lady, she has thousands, and she's been great in every single role, every single sitcom, and every film as well. So, of course, you know, she's on the way to Oklahoma City this coming week, and she's going to be at Bricktown Comedy Club. But right now, she's with us. We have the icon, y'all. The one, the only, Coco Brown.
Hey, how you doing, darling?
I'm doing great. Like I said before we get started, I was trying to, because you have so many credits, I was trying to get.
Man, I'm telling you, the one right now that seems the only one that matters right now is Kountry Wayne. I can't, you Kountry Wayne fans are relentless. It's cousin Coca. I'd be like, you do realize I've done other stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, his following is insane on Kountry Wayne. So this is cousin Coca, honey.
And then speaking of Kountry Wayne, Rolanda, I actually just spoke with her sister earlier because you know she has a sister out here named Toy that lives out here. So it's amazing how you know the connections be happening. You know, like I always tell people, the world may seem big, but in reality, you know, everybody knows somebody.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, you know, of course, this is our first interview together. So, who is Miss Farrah Brown, aka Miss Coco Brown? And how did you get that name?
Well, you know, I got the name from another comic. Comic named James Bean gave me that name. When I first started doing comedy, I mean, I was new in the game. I don't think I've been doing comedy 2 months. And he came up to me at an open mic and he said, you know, you are so different and whatever. And he said, you need a stage name. And I'm like, I do? And he said, yeah. And he said, you should think about it. He says, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna have something for you next time I see you. And honestly, the next time he saw me, he handed me a napkin. I opened it up and it said Coco Brown.
Oh wow. Because you know, I took it. I thought it might have been like a family nickname because you know in our community everybody has
no, it's funny. My nickname growing up, you know, my dad called me Love Bug. He only called me Farrah when he was very upset with me. And all my friends from middle school through high school called me Phoebe.
Okay.
My initials, Farrah Brown. FB.
Yes. And of course, my discovery of you was through the comedy space. I believe it was Common View. I probably wasn't supposed to watch it back then, but I was sneaking and watching.
You ain't that much younger than me now. Wait.
No.
I ain't that old now.
Yeah. Let me clarify that. It's not an age thing. I grew up more so with my grandparents, and my grandfather. He was a deacon, so he was very.
I get it.
He was very strict about what I could watch, what I could listen to. Even with the Kirk Franklin music, I really couldn't watch that. I mean, listen to that as much because he said it was too close.
Well, Kurt be
it was too close.
Kurt's on the fence. Okay.
Yeah, because he said it was too close. So
yeah.
So that's why I couldn't watch it. But I used to sneak and watch, yourself, some more. Of course, Cedric. All you greats. So of course, like I said, that was my discovery. So how did you even get started in the comedy space? Like, what inspired that?
Honestly, I got started through a friend of mine named Onyx. I went to college with. I guess he saw something in me that I didn't even know existed, and he ended up taking me to a barbecue, introducing me to a comedian named Chris Paul that used to be on the Tom Joyner Morning Show at the time. He was working with Donnie Simpson, and him and his business partner had a comedy club in Maryland. And he had told them about me and told me, man, she's funny as I don't know what, man. She need to be a comic. He didn't tell me any of this. Went to the barbecue. I was just me. At the end of the night, the business partner asked me would I like to come to open mic because I was like really naturally funny to him. And I said sure, because I wasn't afraid of a stage. I'd been doing theater since I was 10. So I said, sure, I'll try it, and next thing you know, you're talking to me now.
It's amazing how, everybody's story is different because, I'm more so like a musician and songwriter type of spaces. So like, when it comes to the grind of like comedians, is it like, oh, you have to go sign up with the open mics, or what's the grind behind the scenes before you make it to stars?
I mean, it's so different now. It's so like you still have comedians or aspiring comedians who are going through the processes we went through. But because the business has changed so much now that all you have to do is go viral. And you can now be considered a comedian and book tours and comedy clubs. You don't have to go through the processes we went through of, signing up for the open mics and, going on the road with other comics to hone your skills and learning the business as per se. You can just go viral. Next thing you know, you're headlining the comedy club. So it's like, but those who truly embrace the, truly embrace the craft, they do go through the trenches and the process. It's almost like pledging, because when I came up in the game, you just couldn't call yourself a comedian. You had to earn that title.
So would you say it's more easier now since you have the Facebook?
I hate to say it, but yeah. It is very much so. All you gotta do is go on TikTok, and if one of your videos go viral and you hashtag comedian, you'll get booked. That's as crazy as it seems. Yeah.
Because back then, like I shouldn't say back then. Like, that makes me sound old, but I would just say about 20 years ago. You had to be in the clubs in a sense, right? Because
you had to be seen. That's how you got discovered. There was only a few handful of TV appearances, that you could make to validate yourself. Now that's just you picking up your phone. And but back then, you had to be in the clubs, you had to be on stages, had to be on the right stages, had to be affiliated with the right people, had to have a reputation that preceded you, that you got booked, that people wanted to book you because they'd heard about you. It's now really easy. It's no longer an exclusive club. Anybody can, unfortunately.
Because I believe I had I think it was Reginald Ballard that played Brudman on Martin. I think he said a few years ago, well, about 15 to 20 years ago, it was like limited spots at clubs. So if you didn't make that cutoff, you just wasn't performing that night. But like you said, nowadays you can just grab your iPhone or Android.
And if you hashtag comedian under your post and it goes viral, you will end up on somebody's tour in somebody's comedy club just that easy.
And the ones I know that's really kind of blown up from there, you have your Desi Banks, who's solid. You have your Kountry Waynes that turned into a multi-million-dollar business. So if you, I guess, could, before we move on, if you could have your way, would you rather just stick with just going viral thing, or would you rather just go back and stick with the grind of how you had to come up?
I mean, I appreciated that grind and that hustle because it made me sustainable. Now if I go on TikTok or a social media page and I do something and they book me, I can back it up. I've got 4 hours of material in my head on any given day. And I get that it's a hard pill to swallow for a lot of OGs because we still respect the craft of it. That you can have conversations and talk about the technicalities of stand-up. And it's just not you getting on stage trying to just run around and do silly stuff and try to make your skit that you did into a joke or whatever. It is definitely a meticulous business, art. But I get it now. Will I say that it's hard sometimes? Yeah, because you know, when you've established yourself, I've been in this game, it'll be 30 years next year. You know, and I feel like my name is solid, but then you've got someone that I could have gave birth to telling me, well, that's not good enough because you don't have 1 million followers. It's a little disheartening. It's, you know, it makes you go, well, damn, really? So my 30 years in this game, the countless standing ovations, the TVs and the shows and the movies I've done mean nothing because I don't have 1 million followers. It's a little disheartening, but, you know, the industry has made it the standard now, you know, and they'll book somebody that has 1 million followers and never acted a day in their life over someone who studied at Juilliard. So it's the nature of the beast. So you just got to conform. But sometimes it's hard because the integrity and the time you put into building your brand and who you are, and for it to be negated because you don't have enough commas above your head on a profile pic, you know, it can really make you question, like, you know, do I want to have to, quote unquote, start all over?
I think even now in the music space, because I do booking for artists as well, and some of them they won Grammys, and then but still it's kind of still hard to get them booking sometimes because you know
the awards don't mean anything anymore.
No, not at all. Because
all they care about is how many followers.
Yeah, that's be one of the first questions. How many followers they have on IG? How many they have on Facebook?
Exactly. That's all that matters now, unfortunately.
Yeah. And if you don't say a certain number, they
won't touch you. They'll go get someone that's never acted a day in their life over someone who's won a Golden Globe.
It's crazy,
insane.
Isn't it?
Insane.
I did a whole, I guess I can call it a rant. I guess it's safe to say that. I did a whole rant about that on Facebook one night because it's like, it doesn't make sense, you know, if this person has a Grammy, they've been nominated for MTV Award, BET Award, whatever it may be, this person hasn't done anything other than say they got such and such many followers. But now you can buy followers, so you don't even really know how true that is. You know,
they used to say they could tell, but I guess they don't anymore. I mean, it's one of those things that people will follow you and never engage with you.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, honestly, even on my page, it's like I've got 250,000 followers, but I might engage with the same 10,000, and I've never bought followers. But some people just follow you because of who you are, but they don't follow the algorithm. You know what I mean? But it's one of those things that, I mean, I'll keep it 100. The industry got lazy when they realized that they don't have to do a whole lot of promotion with someone because they can bring somebody in who's going to bring all the promotion with them. It made their jobs like they don't have to do anything but just book you. So that's the thing now, where they used to promote and do press junkets and do all this stuff to promote the movie, promote the artist in the movie. Now they want you to come with that ready, set audience. All they have to do is write a check.
And then with this next question, I hope I don't get you in trouble. So if you don't want to answer, just say pass, okay?
Okay.
Because you know, in a comedian comedy space, you know, some people say it's a male-dominated art per se. So do you think it's harder for female comics to break through versus a male?
Well, they'll definitely let more men in than they do women.
Okay.
And well, they'll have 10 dudes that are like virtually the same person, just look different.
Yeah.
They'll get one female they think represents all females, and they'll ride her till the wheels fall off. You know what I'm saying? And it's one of those things that, you know, you have to constantly strive to what sets you apart. Men usually get a much solid footing once they get inside. Women, we're constantly having to make ourselves relevant, or we'll get replaced by somebody cheaper.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And then also seeing in different places where the pay is not the same. It can be disheartening. Like you can be the top female comic that's out there killing every time you touch the stage, you know, and they may offer you, I would say, just 10,000 versus somebody on the male side who's less talented and get them like 60,000.
Talent has nothing to do with it anymore.
So
I hate to say it, but talent is number 9 on the list of requirements now.
Wow, that's insane though, to me.
It is.
And then, but just to kind of move on from those things, how would you describe your comedic style?
It's evolved so many times. If you watch the first time you ever saw me on Showtime at the Apollo and watch me now, it's like it's a whole different person. And I evolve depending on where I am in my life. Right now, I'm in my auntie phase. And when I go on stage, I got the crowd yelling out, "Hey, auntie." Because I'm out there dropping some, I'm making you laugh, but I'm gonna make you think, and I'm gonna say some stuff you were thinking, and I'm gonna give you some gems and some wisdom in the midst of that, because that's where I am now.
Indeed.
I'm grown. I'm 52, so I'm not gonna be out here talking about, me and me and mad at some dude for taking me to Cheesecake Factory. Hell, honey, if I don't want to go to Cheesecake Factory, I got it. Let's go to STK.
For real.
But
great.
but it's just the difference, it's like, I just literally I evolve. But right now my I would call my comedy witty wisdom.
Okay, I like that.
Witty wisdom.
And of course, if a man asks, what inspired you to really go after the acting instead of just being just a comedian? Like, what inspired you to get into acting?
Well, for me, it was like, when I was coming up in the game, that was like that's the evolution of it. You started out as a stand-up, you broke into TV and film, you got your own show, got on some shows, then you started writing and doing your own stuff, your own movies, your own shows. It's different now. Like everything is like different. You can skip straight from being behind your phone to being a major director or a major star on TV and film. There's really no it's steps, but I think the one thing that I would say, we were very consistent in our day, but consistency now consists of how many videos can you upload in a day and how many likes and views can you get in an hour. Where our consistency back in the day consisted on how many shows can you do, how many people can be in the seats, how many people are seeing you, how can you get your name out there. That was our consistency. So it's still consistency, it's just on a different platform.
Yeah, I like that. And of course, you have had some incredible roles throughout your career as an actress. Has there ever been like a role that you was like surprised that you landed or got the call for?
Surprised? I can't lie. I was a little surprised I got Mookie on P-Valley.
Well, I said that's a great show too, though. So
I love that show, and it was on my bucket list. But Mookie was so far removed from anything I am. I'm a side chick. I'm a baby mama. I got all these kids. I'm the hood chick. Me, we all dressing in lime green for the funeral. I'm making chitlins for everybody. So, but it was so fun to work with Kountry Hall, and as well as Nico that plays Uncle Clifford, because he and I did Soul Man together many years ago. So that was like a reunion. So but yeah, I was kind of shocked at first. I was like, what? Because I did my best to do a New Orleans accent, and it actually worked. So I said, okay. All right, baby.
Yeah, I always crack up because I have some friends in the industry that's from New Orleans. So every time I talk with them, she like my accent automatically changes.
Right. And see, I'm like, I literally call, like, I'm cool with Big Freedom. And I was like, okay, just talk to me for about an hour so I can get your accent down.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Of course, you're on your way to Oklahoma City later this week. So
yes,
of course you're gonna be at Bricktown Comedy Club. They've been bringing a lot of heavy hitters.
My first time there. So I need y'all to show up and show out Oklahoma.
So what should the people, like you said, this is your first time, so what should they expect from a live performance from Coco Brown?
They better wear a diaper, because honey, I'm gonna make you laugh till you pee. Because it's funny, whenever I hit clubs I've never done, it's like I throw that 30 years out the window because I feel like I got something to prove. So when I say I'm about to hit y'all till the wheels fall off, because I want y'all to remember Coco Brown came to Oklahoma City.
Indeed.
And I don't come with no slackers. My opener Big Vino is a beast in himself. So y'all don't want to miss it. That's all I'm gonna say. You don't want to miss it.
And then Would you be doing like a meet and greet after, or is it just showing?
Oh, I always do a meet and greet. I always
Okay.
do a meet and greet after the shows. Absolutely. I have merchandise, you know, t-shirts and, you know, all kinds of great things, baseball caps and edibles. Ooh, did I say that out loud? Yeah. So yeah. So I always do a meet and greet. I definitely like to engage with my fans, you know, make new fans. You know, I know the Kountry Wayne people, y'all want some secrets. Y'all better come see me if you want some of this tea.
Yes,
Because you know it's gonna take 6 months to get it, but I got it now.
you know, there's people always, you know, at least here in Oklahoma City. I've been out here for 8 years or so. One things I notice when people come here, they tend to. I'll say, for example, that you come here for the first time, right? So by you doing that meet and greet, it's gonna automatically want them to see you again because now they feel like they're connected to you. I've seen some shows where people just hit the stage and that's it. Second time, third time they came back, the tickets was like next to nothing because they nobody showed up to support it because you know people want to feel like they're connected to whoever they're performing.
No, I have diehard fans and I love them because I go to certain cities and I'll see 100 of the same people, 200 of the same people, 300 of the same people, because I do connect with my fans. I talk to my fans. I do a meet and greet after every show. You know, I only charge $10 a picture, where some people charging 100. Okay, so
I would hurt at the same club. I'm not gonna say the comedian, but they was charging $250
for a picture.
For a picture, yeah. And they got to hold it up. Their assistant or their bodyguard got to hold it up, you know. So you got to stay at a certain distance away. So it's like you're not really taking the picture with them. You just kind of.
But if people are paying it, then I ain't got no hate and love. I ain't. It's nothing but love. If the people are paying it, because we are in an era that it ain't about who's funny anymore. It's about who can I get a selfie with. You know, I come from the school of I better be funny. But I know that there is a new, you know, era now that people will go see somebody that they may laugh twice the whole time they're on stage, but they're gonna stand in that line for that $250 selfie.
Yeah, just so
that's the era we're in now.
What's the slogan? Do it for the gram. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. They want to be able to post that and say they were there and show off. So, I mean, that's the era we're in now. I mean, does it help to be funny? Sure. But does it matter? No. Because if I've got a 5 million followers tomorrow, I could go on stage and literally whistle for 45 minutes and they would stand in line to take a picture with me.
Yeah, for real. For real. So
and that's real talk. That's real talk.
Yeah. So, of course, you know, you're coming to OKC, but what are some of the other cities you're going to be hitting?
Oh, gosh. Let me see. I've got Charlotte coming up, and I've got Baltimore coming up. I've got Seattle, Tacoma coming up. Jesus. I've got Raleigh, North Carolina coming up. I've got Atlanta coming up. They can just go to my website, honey, and get all the tea, honey. That's my name, Coca Brown, COCOA Brown, the number 4life.com. It's so simple. My name, the number 4life.com.
Yes, ma'am. And then, of course, before we get out of here, we had some fans sending some questions in for you.
Okay.
So we're going to just knock out a few, and then we'll let you go. The first one, they want to know, what are some of your hobbies when you're not on stage or filming a TV show or shooting a movie?
Honestly, sleep. Okay. But no, I love to travel. And I love to travel not for business. I have an amazing 13-year-old who just turned 13 yesterday. And that's my buddy, man. And he's such a great kid, you know, and I want to expose him to so much. So I love traveling with him. We do a lot of traveling. He got stamps in the passport, you know, and I love that. I love reading. I love quiet. I never knew in a million years I would become my mother, where I enjoy silence. So reading and alter, you know, just the only thing I hear is the flickering of a light, you know, or the humming of the AC. I love like dancing. I love dancing. So I'll go dancing. It's hard though sometimes because I want to go and like let loose. And then somebody's like, hey, Coca Brown, damn, can I just do the wobble? Can I just do the wobble? You know, but can I put my boots on the ground?
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, that's new.
Can I put my boots on the ground? Do I, you know, no, I don't want to take a selfie. I'm doing the boots dance right now. But you know, and You know, I'm this is my white side. I like stuff like hiking.
Okay.
You
Ain't
know,
nothing wrong with that.
exploring, you know,
Mm-hmm.
walking through trails, and me and
Mm-hmm.
my son do ATV, and we ride our
Mm-hmm.
bikes and four-wheelers, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's my white side. We go hunting.
See, I do some of that stuff, so I wouldn't call it that. I say it's more country. More
Right. I'm
country.
a country girl. I'm a country girl. I love gardening and I love
Mhm.
fixing up a house. If any of you ever need an interior decorator, from what I've been told, I miss my calling. Holla at your girl. And I
All
know how to
right.
do it on the budget. I know how to do it on the budget.
That's amazing. And the next one we have for you, in your own opinion, what is considered as your biggest accomplishments, one in life, two in your entertainment career?
Number one is my son.
Okay.
To see the man he's becoming, and
Hmm.
knowing that it's just been me and him since he was 8 months old,
Hmm.
and seeing the man he's becoming, and just an incredibly uh young man with so much character and integrity and compassion. And,
Hmm.
you know, I have to remind myself, I did that. I did that, you know.
Hmm.
So that's my greatest accomplishment personally, is my son, and watching him grow up to be this incredible man. Professional wise, I've survived.
Hmm.
Okay. I mean, in a business that constantly shuffles us in and out like we mean nothing, to
Hmm.
have sustained a 30-year career is pretty damn extraordinary. I might not be infamous, but I still can't go to Walmart. I can't walk in there and not take about 4 or 5 pictures, you know.
Hmm.
And, you know, I was smart. You know, if I decided to quit tomorrow, I'm gonna be okay.
Hmm.
So I would say definitely, you know, just being able to survive and
Hmm.
thrive in a business that is so fickle that will love you today and hate you tomorrow.
Hmm. Yes, ma'am. And then also too, somebody based this question off a clip that was shared when you was talking about being a cougar. So, is it hard to date as a celebrity? Because you know you got some people that really wants to get to know you. Then of course you got people that just might want to attach themselves because they think you have millions and millions of dollars. You know, gold digging per se. So, is it
I
hard?
mean, you definitely have to have your discernment on 3,000.
Hmm.
Because I don't carry myself sometimes like I'm famous. And
Hmm.
then I'm reminded I'm famous when they start asking me, can you get my script to Tyler Perry? What?
Wow, that's crazy.
We're on a date trying to get to know each other, and you're more concerned, can I take you to meet Tyler Perry? So it's like, you know,
That's wild.
it's definitely difficult.
Hmm.
I've got to understand too, you know, this is a situation in my life right now. I am not in the circles as per se to meet someone in the industry,
Hmm.
because I'm focusing now on raising my son,
Hmm.
you know. And I've tried to date in the midst of that, because, you know, I've been divorced now, shoot, 11 years.
Hmm.
And I've tried to date in the midst of that, but unfortunately, I don't know, until I figure out what makes me attractive to very insecure men,
Hmm.
I don't date.
Gotcha.
Because
That's
I
fair.
tend to meet a lot of men who want to stamp out my light, and I'm not even out here shining it in your face. I just shine, honey. I do. I don't
Hmm.
know. It's who I am. But I've come across a lot of men that are jealous, and
Hmm.
because they can't have what they think I have, they try to diminish
Wow.
me. So until I figure out what is about me that keeps attracting those type of men, I don't date. No, I
That,
don't.
that's fair. That's fair. Next person asks, do you prefer to cook or go out?
Cook.
Okay. And what is your best dish that you can make?
Oh God. Well, I've been told I cook like I used to be a slave, and they meant that as a compliment. They meant that as a
Wow, that's
compliment.
wild.
But because I can cook anything, honey, I can cook anything.
Okay.
But if you ask my son, he probably is going to say that he loves my pasta carbonara.
Hmm.
If I make a pasta carbonara, he's happy as hell. If I make chicken and dumplings, he's happy as hell. He loves my spaghetti. He loves when I make steak and oxtails and sweet, I make beef stroganoff. I mean, I cook. My son is weird. He gets mad if I say, "Baby, I don't feel like cooking tonight. We going out." No, no, why don't you cook?
Oh wow, that's funny. That's
But
hilarious.
yeah.
But that's a good thing because now, especially like teenagers, they rather eat the McDonald's and the Taco Bell.
My son get mad, honey. He get an
Yeah.
attitude if mama ain't cooking. He
So
come in
that's
the
a good
house from
thing.
school. He don't see it sitting in the refrigerator defrosting. He mad. He mad.
Have you started teaching him how to cook as well?
I have. He started asking me how to cook when he was like 5. And he could cook the basics. I'm still not comfortable with him in fire right now.
Gotcha.
But he can, if I was to leave here for a week, he could feed himself.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then the next one we have, do you have any advice for aspiring comics or actresses?
Build your social media presence, learn the business, read and study, and be prepared so you don't have to get ready. You're already ready, because so many of them I see depend on social media and they finally get that spot and they don't even know how to read a script.
And then, of course, my show it deals with faith as well. So, can you share a moment in time when you had to really lean on your faith in God to really push through something?
How about the last year?
Okay.
February of last year, I lost my entire home to a fire.
Mm-hmm.
And I had just lost my mom. And 8 months before that, I just lost my dad. And I was a caregiver for both of them. And then in the midst of that, I lost someone I was in a relationship with that I thought was going to be my forever. So you're talking about in a 3-year span, I lost my daddy, my mama, my house, and my man. So yeah, to say the least, I had to lean into God and I had to surrender, because when I tell you I was this close to a loony bin. So yeah, it really opened my eyes and changed a lot, but it also let me know that I've had a strong faith all along, because how I picked up and kept it moving and rebuilt everything, and didn't skip a beat with making sure I took care of my son, not just financially, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Yeah, I've always said I'm cocky with my faith. And God made me prove it this last year, because I had to surrender. So no, yeah. Trust and believe.
That's a lot of hits back to back. It's already hard enough losing somebody you love, but when it happens multiple times, plus a home, that's
I mean, yeah, it's like,
most people can't
you
bounce
go
back from
through
that.
that. I didn't think there was any more heart in me to break.
Wow.
But but it really definitely made me realize how strong my faith was, my resilience, my strength, how smart I was, because I had to navigate a lot of stuff, that taking care of 2 ill parents, taking care of rebuilding after a fire. I was blessed to have a lot of people help me, but in the end, it was me who had to do something with that help.
Yes.
So it really it really made me, it took my self-worth up 1,000 notches. So a lot of things that I probably would have tolerated or accepted or invited into my life before, that's done. That's so done.
I want you on that. And one more before we get you out of here. Who's your top 5 comedians of all time?
Bernie Mac.
Okay,
Bernie Mac, Eddie Murphy. Bernie Mac, Eddie Murphy. God.
It's a lot of heavy
Bernie
hitters.
Mac, Eddie, of course, Richard Pryor. Pryor. Bernie Mac, Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor.
2 more.
God, I'm trying to think, like, between the women that I just find hilariously, that I'm like, oh my God, I have to say Samore is probably one of them. Samore. Her writing is unreal. And then I would have to say maybe my boy Tony Roberts.
Okay, yeah. I don't think he gets enough credit,
No, Tony funny as hell, honey. I can't. I got to use the bathroom 4 times messing with Tony.
So, of course, how can the people that's listening, how can they book you for events as well?
They can easily go to my website. Like I said, Coca,
Mm-hmm.
Coca Brown. Please don't forget that A. Coca Brown, the number 4 life.com. So Coca Brown, the number 4 life.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, she's coming to Oklahoma City Friday, May 23rd. Pull up on her. So she's doing 2 shows that night. But hey, let's go ahead and get them tickets sold out. Also, Saturday's going to be 2 shows, and Sunday, right now, scheduled for 1. But let's go ahead and sell all these shows out. So we can keep it here for
And I'll even
days.
take it up a notch. If you find me on social media, whether it be Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, and you put in the comments, Coca Brown, I'm coming to see you in Oklahoma City, hook me up, I will make sure you have 2 tickets.
All right. Y'all heard her. So it's no excuse.
That's what we see who's listening.
Yeah.
But you gotta follow me. You gotta follow me. You can't just say that. I'm gonna check to see if you follow me, sugar.
So no excuses, Oklahoma City. She got the schedule, got the time, got the place. She even willing to give you 2 free tickets. So how can you not support?
So let's see what we're doing.
Yeah. So get your adult diapers ready. Coca Brown is coming. She's gonna bring it for me. She also have what's his brother name? Vino?
Big Vino.
Big Vino, he's
Trust
coming.
me, y'all. Imagine if Biggie was telling jokes.
baby.
Right.
So again, go out and support the sister. She's coming this Friday. But if you can't make it on Friday, you might be tired after work. You can catch it Saturday, and you can catch it before you hit the airport on Sunday. But like I said, let's support it so much that they add shows. Okay.
Yes.
So again, guys, go support her.
Say Bricktown. Go to their website.
Yeah.
Which is in my website, Coca Brown, the number 4 life.com, and the ticket link.
Yeah, and we'll also have it on the station's website and social media pages too, because we really want you guys to go support our sister so that she'll be willing to come back in the future. So, guys, no excuses. Let's go support our sister. Let's sell it out. Let's show up big. All right, y'all, keep it locked here on the ReShard Show. We have some more great music coming up right about now.